Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Mama sad.
Eh,
Mostly.
Mostly. So, unfortunately, sorry. Before we get into things, if you haven't already, go on YouTube and search They Mostly Come Out at Night podcast. Subscribe to us there. Go
Wherever
on
you hear the podcast.
Podbean, Apple Music,
Spotify, Amazon.
Stitcher, wherever you're at, just go and listen to us, please.
Follow, subscribe, whatever you do. Thank you.
We just want to build a community, and we also have a Reddit page.
We do. Just look up They Mostly Come Out at Night. You'll find us. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Was our service announcement.
Our weekly shill. Now,
unfortunately, summer is ending, so
you say unfortunately.
Action, right? Well, it's only
the action movies.
It's only unfortunate because Action Uncle Summer, I think, is concluding. I think.
Yeah.
Let's give a moment of silence for Action Uncle Summer because now we're entering. We'll enter a new era. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
For now, it's horror.
If this movie is any indication, it's 30-year-olds as college student fall.
Is that really unique, though?
No, because apparently...
If you watch movies, even good movies, it's...
Well, what's weird is, is it hard to cast,
apparently
college actors?
Apparently.
You would think that, college students need to, pay
Need
off...
work.
Yeah, they need work and they need to pay off their loans.
But can those college students act, is
Yeah.
the thing. And I'm assuming they can't.
Right, exactly.
So... In this, out of a cast of 20, 25 people, we get one who looks like a college student.
Right.
That's all we get. The film, by the way, is Time Walker.
Yes. Time Walker. Or, I guess if you really want to be specific, it's also alternatively called Being from Another Planet.
Which I've never seen that title... anywhere.
If you're a fan of MST3K, they did a riff on this, which, honestly, can we talk about, I don't really understand the hate for this movie.
No, I can tell you right now, before we even get into it, I do like this film.
I liked this movie quite a bit, and, again, it's not a great movie, but, it doesn't deserve a 3.2 on IMDb.
I refer to this as, a rainy day film.
Yeah.
Where you just bundle up and sit back and just, enjoy a film.
Right.
I don't...
you were describing it as, if you were ever in a public elementary school, if you ever called out sick or, had, convinced your parents you were sick and then you just watched random shit on TV, this kind of movie would come on. And
this is the kind of thing...
afternoon television that you couldn't control what was on,
and it's just it's entertaining.
It kind of felt like a TV movie, not gonna lie, without there was nudity, but other than that, it's about it, and it just felt like a TV movie, but it was
I would
fine.
agree with you, but it does not look like a TV movie.
Mm-mm. Well, we watched a pretty restored version of it.
Yeah, but they obviously used actual cameras.
Yeah.
Not baby cameras.
Yeah. It obviously had a budget and stuff. But I'm not going to lie, it's kind of cool. It's takes place on this just college campus over a few nights, but
they got all the locations.
They got the location. They're filming on location. It looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's believable. There's not any day for night or anything.
No.
So
thankful.
Honestly, we've watched some horrible shit that's rated higher than this. So
yes.
Again, I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't understand the rating. But
I look at this and the rating just confuddles me. But yeah, let's just get into it.
Okay. So starts out just credits. We get
pictures of Egypt.
Pictures of Egypt, and then it's going into this. Two guys are studying a tomb or something, but it's just the audio for it.
And then we hear something collapsing.
And they're watch out, and then collapses, and then you we finally see these two guys, and there's like a unearthed tomb, and they're looking around. There's skeletons everywhere. One of them almost gets like attacked by one of them
with a knife.
Well, it's weird. It's like he's like looking at one of them, and another one just falls on him.
Yeah,
like almost falls on him with a knife, and like a booby trap almost.
They're gonna take these back. They're gonna take this tomb back to their university
because it's King Tut's.
And it's a big what do about it, because they're gonna have like a press conference and all this stuff. They get it back. They immediately like open it up.
I just want to say this right out the gate: think just like the whole plot is basically like Jaws light.
Kind of.
It has a very Jaws-esque like plot structure.
Somewhat.
I mean, it's not like obviously like a shark, but like
the thing.
I mean, stuff happens that's very Jaws-like.
Yeah. So
I kind of compare it more to Jaws than anything else, because it's like the plot is more similar to that.
Yeah. I was gonna say E.T. If E.T. killed people in slow motion.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's the same year as E.T., so I guess that's fitting.
A little spot on, but
yeah, that's kind of what I would say. I mean, it's the same year, so fitting, I guess. But they bring it back. They immediately open it. They get a guy in to like do X-rays, and they see that like it's got the mummy wrappings.
Yeah.
And there's like this green. They think it's mold.
And they're like trying not to touch it because they're going to research it.
So they have a guy get a sample, and then they also have a guy do X-rays, and then accidentally his X-ray machine is like.
Well, also to mention, when they're studying the mold, one of the students gets it on his wrist.
Yeah.
And which is, I guess
that part doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, well, because it hasn't been
activated
by the radiation.
Boom.
So the radiation guy is looking at the two prints, and he sees these like orbs in the top corner.
This is after he zaps it with like way too much.
Yeah, because like I guess he didn't check the levels, and it's like it's getting way too much radiation.
And then he's looking at the readouts, and he sees like 5 balls in like a corner.
Yeah, so he inspects the tomb, and he finds a secret compartment and thinks he's found like crystals.
He finds a bag of crystals.
They are crystals, but like he thinks they're going to be like worth money.
So he steals them.
Because, I mean, okay, this is where like my only complaint with the movie comes in, is because like this dude is supposed to be a college like fraternity like brother, and he looks like he's fucking like 35 years old.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's fine. But, like, it's just hilarious because, like, and this trend continues because, like, every single quote-unquote college student is definitely not a college student.
Not quite.
It's hilarious.
Not quite.
I just had to make a little observation. It's, like, it's a very small bitch, but, like, it's hilarious, actually, to watch
I've seen it in so many movies at this point. Even, like, quote-unquote good movies.
I just think it's funny as hell.
I'm
like,
just like
it doesn't really take me away from the movie, but it's just funny.
At this point, I'm more baffled when I watch a movie and they actually look like college students.
Yeah.
Or my favorite, of course, and this will probably show up in other movies later on the podcast, is when it's like supposed to be like high school, and it's just they just look like they're like 30 years old.
I think we've had them on the podcast. Yeah. I can't recall them immediately, but like I'm pretty sure we've had them on the podcast.
Pitiful.
Yeah, it's great. I just think it's hilarious. Like it's not a complaint. Well, it's not like a big complaint, but it's just hilarious. So anyway, he gets these crystals, and he's gonna go pawn them.
Well, he takes them, and then he does
do X-rays so he can hide the fact that he found those orbs, and then he's like hiding the envelope with the orb X-ray. I don't really know why.
I don't.
Is he going to he's going to like destroy it or something?
Well, he's taking it with him, like the original one, and while he's walking down the hallway, like the electronic engineer student guy
is like walking there, and then,
so he's like hiding, and I guess just in case he sees him,
he like hides it like
behind
it's like an electronical
an electric
it's like a
box thing.
It's like a power box or something.
And he hides. The guy walks past and he tries to get it back, and then he's like, well, if I can't get it, no one can, and he just walks away.
Yeah.
and he puts the new X-rays under the desk of the like professor who's in charge of all this stuff.
Right.
The professor finds like a one of the things is that he's looking at is like the X-rays, like the anatomy of the thing doesn't look normal.
Like the skull's all weird, and then it has like
it has all of its organs,
pronounced features. It has all its organs, which is not
because with mummies they always took out the organs.
Harvest the organs. So, and there's like a scroll with it too,
and the scroll
and a little like piece of like
paper,
parchment,
but it's not. The paper is nothing he's ever seen before.
So he's like dusting off the scroll, and he's like talking to his assistant, who's also his lover.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so they're talking about how they've never seen this piece, like, kind of paper before, and they're trying to, like, unearth what. And they're talking also about how the head of the department wants to have this big press conference, and they don't think they're ready because they haven't fully researched anything yet.
One of the things he's worried about is because he gets like the sample of the mold or whatever investigated, and they have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, it's probably not safe, but it's like the next day.
And they've roped off the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
And
also before this, we see
the official term.
We see the thing wake up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it has this like chest crystal and like glows.
It starts glowing and it wakes up, and you can kind of in your head, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
But they get it all set up for the press conference. He calls like the head of the department or whatever, and is like, "Hey, we're worried about this mold. Can you cancel it?" And the dude just hangs up on him.
Yeah, like, we don't know what it is. We haven't tested it. We have no idea if it's safe to touch. And then one of the students
touches it,
bends down and like touches it. Like, no, don't touch that. And then like instantly like fries his finger.
Oh, before this, they also like opened up.
Oh, they open it back up and it's empty.
It doesn't have the crystals in it, but
oh yeah, so like it doesn't have the crystals, and she almost touches the mold
because now it's all moldy. But another thing that was in there.
Oh, was it like
a triangular
like a panel?
Looks like an NES accessory. It's adorable. But that's missing too.
I mean, by this point, you can already like. Yes, it's a predictable sci-fi movie. Who cares? But
who cares?
You could honestly decide. I deciphered it like right away.
Well, we got spoiled.
Well, yeah. If you look on Amazon, it kind of spoils it in the synopsis.
It tells you what it is.
But I won't ruin it for you.
We'll tell you.
If you plan on watching. So if you plan on watching it, don't go read this. Don't listen to the rest of the episode, and don't read the Amazon synopsis.
Just watch it.
Just watch it.
A student touches it, and like he immediately gets all this like stuff on his finger.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a big burn. He is taken to the hospital. We find out later that it's like some sort of thing that's like eating the flesh and muscles of his hand.
Right.
And so they have to amputate him. In the meantime, and like the department head is all like annoyed because his big fancy press conference was a disaster. Because they do open it.
I do love the Dick Wandering.
Dick Wonder.
I can't remember what it's called, but like there's two like reporters, and they're like, "Wow, it looks like this is like they're trying to keep it under wraps."
This has been a grave mistake.
It was a grave mistake to have this press conference and everything. And
he's just watching being annoyed.
I just love how he just gets more like progressively through the movie. He gets more and more angry at what's going on.
How big of it? Like there's a newspaper article that has like a mummy pun in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like,
oh yeah, well, and there's also they're having a party called like
"Where's my mummy?"
Where's my mummy? Because they put like this. They say if like anyone
because the mummy's missing,
knows where the mummy is, that he won't shut down the entire like fraternity.
And we won't press charges against you for theft, if you tell us. Because the thing goes missing, and we get a quick. Because it goes missing, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's got to be like one of the frat bros or something." Yeah. It's a prank. We get a quick scene of a janitor.
He's in like just in the boiler room. And
it's like a boiler power room.
We get a little bit of monster vision, and then the janitor hears something and walks off, and then you just hear him get killed off screen.
In the meantime, the guy who did steal...
Rest in peace, janitor.
Rest in peace, boy.
The only the only innocent,
The true innocent.
the true innocent death.
In the meantime, the dude who stole the diamonds he tries to pawn them, and the dude's like, this is crap.
Well, they're like, these are worthless. They're not worth anything. He's like, they're like 3,000 years old, and
Who told you that?
He's like, who told? Like, what kind of game you trying to run here?
Like, who told you that? Some idiot at the swap meet?
So instead of doing that, he goes and sells them to his friends for $50 a pop.
And just one by one sells them to his friends, and all the friends are like giving him to their girlfriends and crap, trying to get laid. And then like he gives one to like his date, and of course like the two guys show up to hustle him for money, and then he gives them this.
He gives them the diamonds so they'll stop harassing him, and then they go and sell the rest of them.
And then it's like it just becomes a chain because like the diamonds they start glowing too.
So like one girl has a necklace, another guy gives the secretary, like the lover slash assistant, a bracelet, and then there's another necklace, and then there's like what, two more?
A guy.
There's another.
The guy who wanted the money.
Yeah.
He has his own, and then the guy himself has one.
Yeah.
But basically, at this point, you know what's going to happen. The mummy is going to one by one get his balls. You know this.
Get his balls back.
The first one.
How mummy got his balls back.
A guy trying to get his Mac on with a girl who's babysitting. He gives her the thing. And
they like start. I love this like love scene because like when they first show him like getting their Mac on, she's just like kind of like awkwardly like flailing on top of him.
Just flailing on top of him, and he's like awkwardly like scrunching her ass.
She even does a little like thing to him. Like it's so awkward. I love it. It's so awkward.
And the baby starts crying because the mummy like looks at the baby, and
because he accidentally dropped the necklace into the baby's crib,
and they make you think like is he gonna kill the baby? But no, he gets it, but it starts looking there.
Well, and he like puts the necklace on her, and she goes to like check on the baby, and like slow mo, you just see like a hand reach out and grab the necklace and rip it off,
and then she falls down, and she has like a.
Do you realize like her death is like completely accidental? I'll explain later once we get to the like another scene.
Well, was she alive at that point?
No, I mean no. I think she was.
You think?
I think she was. I don't know.
Let's see, because in the meantime, one of the researchers is looking at what makes this like mold like come alive, so to speak.
Because they're like, sorry,
because they don't know what it is.
The cells are like reproducing at a rapid rate,
yeah.
And it's like it like grows up the skin unless you amputate.
And the main like professor guy has like deciphered one of like the like scrolls, and it talks about how like King Tut's men
they like found a wanderer
in the desert, and then when they touched him,
because like King Tut touched him. And then all his handlers like handled King Tut, and they all died
because of this flesh-eating thing. And he now is like saying like this is like a 3,000-year-old virus or whatever.
Yeah.
What makes it like work?
And this mummy is covered in it.
And then the head researcher like zaps some radiation at it and just starts glowing, like coming to life. And then the woman's at the hospital. She's laying there, and they're about to like do an x-ray or something or radiate her.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is why I think she's not dead at this point, because why would they so desperately try and call before they do the radiation?
True.
Because they wouldn't have had the sense of urgency if
right.
she was already dead.
True.
So I think she was alive.
They fucking owned her.
They killed her, not the mummy.
Wrecked.
Yeah, because they like... you just get the nurse screaming, and then like the head nurse,
because she originally has like the little moldy spot on her like neck, but then they zap her, and the next time you see her, like half of her face is like
and their eyeballs all bulging out and
eaten away, and that's the end of her.
Now
the guy is like her boyfriend. He's like in shock, and he just says he saw a mummy, and everyone's like, oh, it's a. She doesn't know what he's talking about.
So next is the party, right?
The Where's My Mummy?
Yeah, so we start out with our main dude, the guy that stole the crystals,
Dressed
like
as a mummy?
being a total asshole as a mummy. He goes to pick up his date, who's Cleopatra.
Everyone at this party is dressed as some sort of Egyptian
I
theme.
do really appreciate the two people trying to get their Mac on, and like literally
Well,
everything
there's a
interrupts them.
whole like they're trying to get their Mac on.
There's a whole setup with
The
this
guy
thing.
with the guy shows up in his mummy outfit and like spooks them, and then like later, the actual mummy shows up, and the guy is just like getting more annoyed. And he's like, "What are you doing? Like, that's another stupid frat boy wearing a mummy outfit."
What
And the
does he
money,
call him? A fried rat?
like a
Frat?
chicken.
A chicken frat rat?
So, yeah,
Like a chicken frat rat. Yeah, it's like a chicken frat. You chicken frat rat.
just another chicken frat rat. And then they go back to making out, and obviously because none of them have the thing, the mummy just leaves them alone. And by the way, every time you see the mummy moving, it's like
It's floating.
It's a
It's
gliding.
floating.
Not yeah. You never see its legs. It's just smooth gliding.
So
But
they're all at the party, and I guess like they're all dancing awkwardly, and there's like these weird, like they're just all making stupid mummy jokes, and there's even a mummy song playing, like
mummified. Yeah.
been mummified, our love's been mummified, and like it even mentions King Tut in the song,
It's
and
adorable.
they obviously recorded it for the
For the
fucking
movie.
Um,
And then like the guy who was trying to get money out of this dude.
his date is Cleopatra, and she's leaving, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he
He's
gets
like, "Where'd she go?" And then he goes out and
She
runs
sees-
into the freaking people getting their Mac on again. And he's like, "Annie?" And then the guy's like, "No,
I'm not no, and then like
that's not Annie, and
he
neither am I."
he goes to like out to the parking lot, and Annie's getting in like a car with like this older
This like
dude,
50-year-old man.
and they're in this convertible, and she's like, "Sorry, he just like he's like more educated or something." Like she says some like bullshit line, and they drive away, and he's
The
like,
guy's
"That's it, I'm done with." And she throws her necklace. And he's like, "That's it, I'm done with girls."
And then like 4 women walk up.
he's like, "Hey, give me a sec. I'm gonna like," and then he goes to grab the necklace, and oh my god, this is
Monster
my
Vision
this is
walks
the
up to
best
him.
Death.
And good
He's
lord.
like, "Urgh," and like he's like, "What?" He like turns around, and he's like, "What?" And then you just see a slow mo arm go across the camera and smack into the guy.
And it smacks him so
And
hard.
he like lifts up on the ground like he's jumping, and his like arms raised up, and he's just like flying through the air.
And he smashes into like this like garage.
This is all slow mo, by the way, which makes this scene fucking hilarious to watch. Because if they did it like quick, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But
Well, if they did it quick, it'd be like 1 second.
yeah, the fact that
What? And then, but no, they have to slow mo it, and it just turns into a meme.
this dude gets yeeted so, and they even explain later because like the coroner's report said he like all his bones were crushed. And
He says that there's not a single mark on his body.
but all his bones were crushed, and so like this dude got yeeted so fucking hard into a building that hit all his bones cracked.
And of course, every time the mummy gets one of those like crystal balls,
It puts
like
it in the panel.
it puts it in the panel, and like a little bit of power from everything in the university like dies out because it's taking up so much energy and electricity to power this thing. And then what's the third one?
So remember, this is when they figure out.
Oh, because we get like a. This is taking course over like a few days because we get like a scene that's like daytime and people are going to class, and some guy gives the professor's like assistant
Like
lover
the
person,
the bracelet, like I was
and he's like,
mentioning earlier.
will you go out with me? Blah blah blah. She's like, no, and he's like, okay, well, take this and you'll think of me.
Well, she's talking to the professor and the engineer now, and no, he has like a. Is this the dream sequence? And then that's when they figure out that the light.
Yeah, he has a nightmare where he sees like the mummy breaking into his office.
And like killing both of them, and then he wakes up. It doesn't like show him killing the mummy, killing both of them, but you assume that's what's
Yeah.
happening. So then, like, it's in the morning, and she like wakes him up, and he sees the bracelet hanging off her wrist, and like notices like the light hitting it, and there's something projecting on the wall.
And he thinks that it looks like a schematic for a radio or something.
Yeah,
And this is when he starts theorizing.
And it looks exactly like the one they found on that like piece of like whatever
Weird paper
that they couldn't identify, and so they have no idea what it is. So he's like, oh.
But he starts theorizing that this is like an alien.
So he takes it to the engineer, and they look at the like schematic, and they like shine a light, and he's like, "Yeah, it looks like an old radio."
Yeah, it looks exactly.
It looks like a radio schematic,
like some sort of like communication device.
So she like they tell her to go like start researching everything she can on
in the library.
In the library,
so she goes there, like, and no one's there, and a guy quickly. Which fitting. This is never mentioned again, but I mean it's a nice little detail, I guess, because the library workers, because she's like, "Where's everybody?" And the library worker's like, "Oh, they're all in the observatory. There's like some sort of comet passing."
Yeah.
This is never mentioned again, but again, it's like a little detail.
It kind of works perfectly for what's about to happen.
She goes in there, starts doing research, and the monster vision slowly walks up there. Yep. To the library,
and she like sees it and like
starts running away
because her like bracelet starts glowing and everything, and then
she initially doesn't see that the bracelet's
I guess
glowing.
we should have mentioned, did we mention the fact that the crystals glow whenever the mummy gets near them?
Yes.
Okay, we did. Okay.
She doesn't see that it's glowing yet.
No, but she like starts running away because she sees the mummy, and she runs down a bunch of hallways and everything, and then she gets in an elevator.
And it starts going up, and then the mummy
like holds on to it, and then
it like you can imply, but the mummy like opens the doors, and like as her elevator is going up, it like holds the elevator and starts punching through the floor.
So she gets like up on the elevator and opens the next floor up, and like goes and runs out, and the mummy gives chase, of course, and then she's like going down the stairs, and
she sees the mummy staring at her, and she sees her glowing bracelet.
So she like tries to take it off.
She can't.
And she can't, so she runs back up to the roof.
And then she starts like climbing down a ladder, and the mummy in like true slow-mo fashion
takes like the bracelet and rips it off her wrist, and as she falls like
in slow-mo
off a huge building.
My favorite thing though is the hard cut after she falls. It immediately hard cuts to her in the hospital.
Well, because she like it shows her slow mo of like just like her head lightly hitting the ground, which
she
is
hilarious. She has like a bruise on her side of her face, and she's basically saying like,
"Well, it wasn't trying to kill me. It was just like it wanted the crystal, and that's all it wants."
But like all the cop investigating it at this point, he still doesn't think like, oh, it's just a sick person. It's not an actual like a 3,000-year-old mummy.
The cop in the head of the school doesn't believe that it's like anything but just like either
the assistant to the head of the school.
Oh right, so it's
thinks
either a frat boy prank or
the professor is setting it up.
Or the professor is setting it up, and he stole the mummy so he could become the hero
by finding it.
Yes.
And so at this point, the professor figures out that it's looking for the crystals, because him and another guy confront the guy who stole them, and they find out where they are, and
so they find the other one, and then they only have one more to recover,
and it's the girlfriend of the an electronic engineer guy.
Yeah, and she had like her roommate has like the necklace with it on, and
so she's going to take a shower, and the mummy.
Well, because they figure out that like the other girl like went somewhere else
to work.
She's like, oh shit! She's there alone with the necklace. So like he runs
off.
Starts like running to the house,
and the mummy's like outside as this girl's taking a shower, and it glides up to the window. And my favorite is we get a shot, totally unnecessary, but they had to show us that they're not amateurs. We get a shot. Like a wide shot of this thing floating in the air at the window.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love that they threw that shot in there because it's totally unnecessary. Your head can fill in the blank, but I love that they threw that in there just to be like, hey, we're not amateurs.
Yep. We're like, we can do this, okay?
We got this, and it's gonna look fine.
So it's like she's like putting on the necklace and looking like what it's like looking like to be on while she turns on the shower, and then she like derobes and like gets in the shower, and you think
she's wearing
she
it.
has the necklace on.
Which you asked a good question. Why the hell would you wear a necklace to the shower?
Would you put on your roommate's necklace and get in the shower anyway?
Well, they got you.
I still don't understand the like.
Why don't you understand? Well,
so
the mummy's motivation.
Let me explain the scene, and then I'll explain what
Because
I
can
don't
tell you
understand.
the motivation.
Because the alien, or sorry, the mummy. My bad. Oh God, sorry. Spoiler alert. Shit.
Alien mummy.
So the mummy goes and like tears down the shower curtain
In first person,
and
yeah.
like looks at her and everything, and then like goes to the sideboard and like gets out the necklace.
A Jedi.
The Jedi floats the fucking necklace to his hand
And then walks out.
Walks out. Now, okay, so I know you're gonna state the obvious here. Why in the hell did it need to look at the naked woman showering before it grabbed the necklace?
Titties.
You could argue that it saw it put it. You could argue it saw her put it on.
It's been 3,000 years, Will.
And thought it was in, thought it was in the shower. Like maybe he thought she was still wearing it, like we did. But it's also been 3,000 years, so maybe he just needs to peep that.
He had to peep that because, listen, the thing like guides him to it, and it would be like a homing beacon or whatever. So clearly he opened that up because the people who made this have lizard brains, and
they're like, listen, this mummy gets lonely too, okay?
It's been 3,000 years, and before it goes away, it had to peep something. And so it just peeps for like 5 seconds, and then Jedi mind force the thing to its hand and walks out.
Yeah.
And then they're thinking like, well, it's going to need like a power source. And it's the freaking place where it's been hanging out the whole movie. So they go there, and they see like the device with the crystals on it. And by the way, I love every time it adds a crystal to it, it like
glows blue.
It glows blue, and like you get like the Atari sound effects.
So our main dude like runs up to it, and he has like one of the last crystals,
and he puts it at the top.
And he puts it at the top, and like
and then
they got so
the head of the department
he's putting it on the like panel. The head of the department assistant is like, I knew it. I knew you had done that. Like blah blah blah.
And then the actual mummy shows up,
bursts down the door, and is like, "What's up, fellas?"
Slowly walks over to the thing, and then it sees that he put the thing at the top, and then it takes
He's like, motherfucker, and then like he takes the crystal and puts it on the lower one.
And then it glows blue. Then he takes the last one, puts it at the top, and the thing activates.
One like we get like
all the lights go out.
We get like the radio person like taking pictures of him.
And then all the lights go out, and we just see him holding this thing as like the crystals are all like one by one activating and pointing at him.
And then like it like beams into his chest.
He glows blue, and he becomes an alien in a black jumpsuit.
And she's taking pictures, and it's like it's the most casual like thing. Like no one is freaking out.
No, everyone's just watching it.
Like they're just like nothing is happening except for this.
Except for this whole fucking world bending situation. It's fine. Yeah.
So then like the assistant is like, shoot it,
and then the cop pulls his gun up, and the guy,
like, our main dude's like, no,
and then he gets shot in the shoulder.
He's shot in the shoulder and like falls down.
By the alien
on his like side,
and then the alien is like all glowing blue, and then the alien reaches his hand out to him,
and he just like
the guy grabs his hand,
reaches up, grabs his hand, and they both like disappear into nothing.
And then there's just a single crystal on the ground, and the assistant picks it up, and it fucking
like fries his
fries his hand, and now he's screwed. And then we get a thing that says to be continued, and the movie ends. I love this ending. I like
It
our
was, you
dude
know what? I say this a lot, but it was pretty bold of them to expect that this would get a franchise.
who, if anyone making this actually expected a franchise, like they're as dumb. But
They obviously did, because why would they put the to be continued?
because they thought they were hilarious. What would be like?
How would you continue that? The adventures of this alien
And the professor.
and the professor, like, like in space.
Well, because our film, we have a dude who spends the whole movie investigating this thing and then trying to stop it, who then at the very end gets shot and decides, fuck this Earth,
Now, I also want
and
to
goes off to space.
maybe nitpick the title a little bit. I get the whole like Time Walker because it was around during Egyptian times, but
It's fine.
that's it. I mean, it doesn't like walk through time or anything or like,
It does
like,
walk, kind of.
It doesn't walk though.
It glides. Time
Yeah.
glider.
Well,
Are
and
you
like,
saying it should be called time glider?
but like, I mean, it was asleep for 3,000 years and
Yeah,
then
time.
woke up and then just like
3,000 years. That's
time
time.
sleeper.
No.
Is what it should be called.
No. That'd be too boring.
Man, this like our like little talk through didn't even take as long as anything because like it's such a like a just like a condensed movie. There's nothing like
This is great.
yeah. There's not like a lot of things going on. There's a lot of like stuff happening because like surprisingly it's edited very quickly. So
Oh, yeah.
all the scenes never overstay their welcome. They're very quick.
It's quick. Like the thing just boom, boom, boom. Like everything is going quick. There's nothing that's like pointless. Everything goes somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole time you're watching this, like you're not just like, okay, this is going on too long. What is this scene? Why is this so long? Like it just boom, boom, boom.
Bam, 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 bam. Like they just like fly through it.
And then you get the most epic ending, where no one, and the ending really is, it sums up the whole movie because
it's so casual. No one reacts whatsoever to it.
the whole film is casual.
Because no one reacts like
There's
how normally...
like there is like a 2-minute span of this whole film that comes anywhere close to like genuine horror.
What, that one where she's running?
Where she's in the elevator, yeah, and she's running, but then it goes slow-mo and they ruin
scared,
it.
But like every other scene is like they don't even get scared.
Well, there's nothing to be scared of because it just comes in and smacks them or grabs the thing.
Can we also talk about how the janitor didn't need to die?
The only reason...
There's no reason that janitor needed to die.
The only reason the janitor dies is because the alien needed to use the boiler room power room, and he happened to be there, and it just had to... You know what? Had to do it to him.
Wrong place, wrong time.
He saw it. I guess. I don't know.
But like... the kill count is literally 3.
Yeah.
It's such a casual like fucking movie. It's so casual, like made for TV safeness.
It's just easy.
There's no genuine like scary scenes.
No.
Nothing
memes.
Nothing even close, but there is that epic scene where he gets yeeted.
Which, I mean, some brainlet decided to add slow-mo to all the deaths in this film, except for the janitor, who dies in darkness. We don't even see it.
Yeah.
And then they don't even find his body. No one even gives a shit. No one cares about the janitor.
No one even cares. They were down there like
everyone else who encounters it.
What's weird is like people were down there where the janitor died, and they never mention him. Not even once.
Mm-hmm.
It's just ripperoonie for the fucking janitor.
He's gone. No one cares. No one cares.
Never be known again.
It's no family. It's been a few days. No one gives a shit. This movie is like 3 or 4 days.
Well, I mean, they don't give a shit to fucking a mummy flying into a fucking boiler room and turning into a blue alien. So I would say they're pretty casual.
It's the whole film that sums up the movie.
I just can't believe they had no one, like, even do a reaction to that. Like, they're all just standing there.
There's no reaction on.
Just like it's like a fucking.
No.
Like they're just watching a normal ass thing.
They're like enjoying it until the guy's like, shoot it, and the cop's like,
I
oh,
don't even know why he says that, to be honest, because there's no build up to that. He just he lets all this happen.
he's just butthurt.
And then after like a minute or two, he's like, "Oh shit, okay, shoot him."
And even the cop's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll shoot it. And then that gives our guy an excuse to be like, fuck this Earth.
Bye.
And then I love the aliens just like, oh, you took a bullet for me? Come here, boy. And then they go to space. Our dude is just going to casually float away on a comet.
Trek around on space.
That's how you end a movie. That's how you end a film. Your hero spends the whole movie trying to stop this thing, and at the end he's like, fuck this. I'm going.
I'm going. Even though this killed people.
He leaves his girlfriend in the hospital. His job.
He doesn't care, okay?
He's gone.
He's gone because he got shot in the shoulder.
He's done.
By a...
He's done. He gives. He's, in the words of Tommy Wiseau.
There's no build up to him even sympathizing with the alien. There's nothing to even remotely tell you that this dude is thinking about oh, maybe this. I mean, the only thing would be when the girlfriend says basically it wasn't trying to hurt me, but he doesn't have a reaction to that.
No,
they don't show him being like, oh, well, maybe we're misunderstanding this thing.
He just wants to go.
They're just he just accidentally gets shot in the shoulder and then just is like, you fuck this place.
I'm gone. That's
And he had no idea that this thing was even an alien. Up until this point, they just all believed it was a fucking mummy.
No, he had his theory halfway through the movie.
Because everything was showing that it wasn't from this world.
But
it wasn't confirmed.
No. But he got his confirmation.
He had no fucking clue. And he has no idea if this alien's gonna fucking probe him or fucking do
well, it was worth it. It was worth it, yeah.
Was it?
It was worth it for that ending. The greatest ending in any film I've ever seen in my life.
Just no questions asked. Just fucking get me the fuck out of here.
Take me away.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
It's true. He had that existential moment. He's like, I don't care. I'm fed up with this world. In the words of Tommy Wiseau in The Room. And then boom, end film. That's how you end a movie, Will.
Yes. That's also how you pad out an episode. No, just kidding. I don't know, shitty to pretty, I'm pretty
bold.
I'm pretty middle of the road with this.
Oh, I'm not.
You getting rated pretty high?
Well, if we're talking entertainment, how happy I was during this film. It's got to be a 7 for me.
Yeah.
I was a very happy boy.
I would have said a 6, but I get
if the actual horror scenes were less brain dead, I might have given it a higher rating. But also, they could have been even more brain dead, and I probably would have given this an even lower rating.
I think I'm just gonna go probably I'm gonna stick with my 6 because I think it is very entertaining, but I'm still mad about the janitor. No, just kidding. But I just think there's some things that they didn't really flesh out as well as I mean, obviously
really
it's an hour and 20. I know.
It's a film with
but none of the motivations make sense. None of them. And that's I'm sorry, but it's just none of the way the
space.
None of the people react the way they were supposed to, and it's fucking it's so awkward, which actually adds to the entertainment, but it's also why it gets a 6.
It adds for me because it makes the movie this one of the movies you watch and it's a horror film, but there's literally zero stress
There's no tension whatsoever in this entire movie.
None. It's the easiest thing to sit through. It's like a fucking donut of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You just eat it. It's just sugar, and it's like,
you know what it is. It's done real quick.
It's just a glazed donut of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
just a basic ass glazed donut.
there's nothing bad, but if you walk into this expecting like horror or spooks, oh baby, it's not that movie.
It's like you walk into a donut shop and you see like a day old glazed donut. You know it's gonna satisfy you. It's sweet. It's fine. But then you see the fucking like fresh fried like apple fritters, right?
Mm.
But you go with the glazed donut because it's cheaper and it's gonna get you what you need.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie is. It's not an apple fritter. It's a fucking glazed donut.
It's a glazed donut, and it's sweet. It's good. It's gone quickly, and that's it. You're happy. You're fat and happy, and you move on with your day.
Exactly.
That is Time Walker. I am happy that I've watched this.
I am too.
Like
I think
glazed donut.
my life is better now that I've seen Time Walker.
Like, yeah, I mean, might not be good for your health, but
donut definitely not.
I don't know if this is good for my health either, but it's fine.
Probably not. It's fine though. It is what it is, and I like that's.
It's adorable.
We could keep beating the bush around, beating around. Wow, I can't even talk. Jesus Christ.
Beating the bush around.
Beating around the bush about it, but like, it's just at the end of the day, just a kind of a throwaway movie that will entertain you. I guarantee it.
Yeah, unless you're one of those people who just absolutely hate this thing, but it's not me.
No, I liked it. I thought it was good.
It's good. It's good. It's fun.
It's entertaining, and it's just worth a watch just for that one death scene alone.
It will not offend you.
The only like actual death scene that's on screen where the mummy actually just wants to kill a douchebag
for no reason.
For no reason, and just yeets him so hard into a wall, he like just like it pulverizes him.
It pulverizes his bones in his body. I don't know why. It's fine.
He just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna liquefy this fucking guy real quick.
let me do this real quick.
The guy like got dumperoonied by like a girl who was going out with like a 50-year-old man.
A 50-year-old student
tried to hit on a bunch of fucking college students and got fucking liquefied to a fucking building for no reason.
That's a film. That's what you do.
And then the other deaths are like the fucking ER, they fucking just fry her accidentally, and then the fucking janitor just for no reason. I still don't understand. We need justice for that janitor.
Dude, they did not care. No, they did not. They were just like, fuck this dude.
They just flash fried one of the fucking students and then liquefied the other one, and then the janitor gets no justice.
Not even a dead body?
Nothing.
He's just gone?
He's just gone. He just walks into the dark and is dead. That's it.
Oh man.
Okay. Well, I don't think I have anything else to say.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's Time Walker.
That's it. Go watch Time Walker. Just rent it on Amazon. That's where we watched it. It's a really good quality.
Great quality.
Like, really good restoration.
Looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It really does. I think Shout Factory did it, if I'm not mistaken. I could be
That is
wrong,
what you told me.
but I think it's Shout Factory. I don't know. But anyway, it's on Amazon. That's where we watched it. I'm sure you can find it somewhere else, but I don't know. We didn't look into it. So,
I think there's a version on YouTube, but it was really bad.
Yeah.
Like blurry as hell, and
But yeah, so before they mostly come out at night, this has been Will.
This has been Alex.
We'll talk to you all later.
Bye-bye. Your love is mummified. I'm King Tut.
King Tut's too mummified.